The HEROware offering for this slide is the VBCA. As I mentioned, this is the virtual backup continuity appliance. This is one to many. So one being our solution to many being the customer solution, and that can be any flavor of Microsoft Server. It can be SBS, working in conjunction with a SQL or a BlackBerry server, any application server, file server, print server, whatever it happens to be. We are application agnostic. We don't care what the application is. And we're also hardware agnostic, so we don't care if you're running a Dell, an HP, an IBM server. We really don't care because we're at the lowest layer possible. We're just taking the byte level transactions, therefore we don't care really what the hardware or the applications are, which is really a differentiator in the marketplace. A lot of times you have to match up one for one what the hardware is, or you really have to know what the software is. We don't care. As long as it's running on Microsoft. We don't support Linux. We don't support Macintosh. Those are non-supported platforms for us. We're only running on Microsoft. As I said, we protect both physical or virtual servers. In this scenario, we can actually go virtual to virtual as well. So the neat thing about that is we can actually do custom configurations. So what you're looking at is a 1U platform. We can scale all the way up to a 3U, 96 gigabytes. I think we can go as high as 48 terabytes of storage, something to that effect. So special orders don't upset us, and therefore we ask you to call in and get a custom configuration every time you want to sell a HEROware device. Again, it protects the entire server, including the operating system, system state, apps, and data, again, at the byte level. And in the VBCA, we do something different than the BCA. If you remember on the BCA slide, we only recovered deleted files. Well, we're doing something completely different here. In addition to recovering a single file like we did in the BCA, on the VBCA, we can recover deleted, modified, or damaged files from any point in time because we have embedded CDP, continuous data protection, into the VBCA product. This is a higher level product than the BCA. Therefore, it's going to be a richer product offering from HEROware because it has more complex hardware. It's got beefier CPU, it's got potentially more power supplies, but it also has a 64-bit OS included in there. So it has a lot of upgraded features. And with that, you get an entire server protected that we can cover deleted, modified, or damaged files from any point in time. An example of that is an Excel file, which I seem to always do. Version 15, I forget to rename it, version 16, and all of a sudden I go, oh boy, I didn't rename it version 16, and I copied over it, and I don't have that stuff I copied over. Well, this is truly a DNA sequence of your production server. You can go back in a minute ago or 5 minutes ago or an hour ago or a day ago, whatever you wanted. And best practices for us is about 10 days, but we can't extend that, and we can talk to you about that during the customization. But I can go back in and grab that file, bring it back, and then properly label it the way I want it. Again, it's a native Microsoft file format, so I don't have to go through and look through a whole bunch of encrypted files and try to figure out, which file is which. This is a native Microsoft file format. Just drag and drop it back. Again, failover minutes into a Hyper-V for high availability. We can fail over an ESXi, so we can virtual to virtual. We can fail over a VM session in a virtual session to a Hyper-V session on our appliance. Therefore, as I said, we are a true virtual to virtual environment. And again, we can replicate offsite to the HEROware cloud for true disaster recovery. So what is the total recovery bundle? I know this is sort of an eye chart, and I apologize, and certainly call in and we'll send you this slide deck if you'd like to have it. But this is an all-inclusive single order, single SKU from HEROware. For the total recovery disaster bundle, you get all the maintenance, all the hardware and software, support bug fixes, OS support, core software, if there's any updates or upgrades, 7x24 phone and email support. So from a maintenance perspective, you're completely covered as long as the customer continues to use that unit. So you're 100% covered. We man the phone 7x24. We have email support. Call in. We want you to try to be the first level of support if possible, just to make sure the system's properly plugged in. After that, call in and we'll certainly help you out and support you. The neat thing also, since we are a hybrid solution, you have local high availability for quick recovery, which means the appliance is on-prem. Therefore, as I said, you had total recovery minutes. Therefore, you can get your data back relatively quickly, in some cases almost instantly, and therefore the customer can be continually running and not worried about prolonged downtime. With our continuous real-time replication, sending to our SAS 70 Tier 3 data center, included in this package, we're going to send you, the partner, a USB drive, and you're going to be able to precede your customer's production servers to our SAS 70 data center. And we'll ship you out a drive to you or right to your customer. They plug it in, and they're going to send the information back in an fully encrypted drive. And then we'll plug it into our data center, and then once it's plugged in, we'll do what's called a difference mirror. Since we're asynchronous communication, we can do that. We'll actually send back information and ask what's on the production server, and then at the byte layer, don't forget we're doing it a byte level, we're doing it at a very low transactional layer. We're just going to send the deltas that were not picked up since the time that the drive was installed into the data center. So that's something very unique that we can do and included in this total recovery bundle. We'll also include Cisco VPN from your server to our cloud recovery service. That will be set up automatically, where once you fill out our form on exactly what is included in the cloud recovery service, how many gigabytes, how much do you need, what you're scaling, what type of bandwidth, things like that. The VPN will be set up automatically once the connection's made via our preceded cloud, and away you go. So that's something that we'll be able to manage for your customer remotely. What does this mean to you? This is unlimited retention in the cloud. We're going to keep that in there as long as the customer wants. We're not going to delete anything. We're going to just continue to build on top of that cloud storage. We'll also be able to allow you to run terminal services, and this is included in this as well, which means you can run the applications out of the cloud. If it's a true disaster, we are really allowing enterprise-level disaster recovery for the SMBs in this total disaster recovery bundle. And just to give you a quick snapshot, if you bought this from HEROware as a partner, you're paying for our BCA03 Cube, which is 4 gigs, 500 gigabytes with 500 gigs to the cloud. And I'll show you a slide on this, but I think it's important to give you a gauge of where we are on the pricing. You're paying $1,500, or the customer pays $1,500, however you price it to your customer. Your cost is $1,500. And then for $99 a month, you get all of this on this slide. That's unbelievable if you think about it. You're getting 500 gigabytes cloud. You're getting all the maintenance. You're getting the preceding of the cloud. You're getting the VPN. You're getting terminal services, which we're going to pre-configure a Win 7 or XP desktop for you in a VM session, in a Hyper-V session. And you're going to get a full disaster replacement of your entire HEROware appliance. So what does that mean? Well, if you have a true disaster and you or your customer submits to us the insurance claim, so we can prove that it's a true disaster, we'll send you out exactly what was destroyed. If it was a VCA, DVCA, we don't care. With all the software, all the hardware, and all your operating system apps and OS, we'll send it back to you within 5 days. So what's going to happen is, from the day the disaster happened, they're going to be running out of the cloud, so everybody's continually working on it, probably in a remote location that you've helped them set up or they set up on their own. They're within 5 days or sooner, but 5 days we're going to guarantee, they're going to have everything back on the HEROware appliance. Now, this is going to, in essence, be your production server. So this is going to be your production server until you can help them rebuild their organization. The key to this thing is they have not gone out of business. You save the business from going out of business. And this is the way you need to sell it. You are the true lifesaver. You saved them. You saved the day. We use the word hero, HEROware. HEROware with you, Mr. Partner, have saved the day for your customers. So think about that. We've really put together a bundle that we think is unprecedented in the industry today, and it's something you really have to get your arms around and understand how to sell. Also included in that is something that we think is also an additional game changer for us, because we have a lot of customers coming to us and saying, look, we have an issue with email. We get a lot of viruses. We get a lot of spam. Can you help us out? And we said, absolutely. So we went out in the industry. We found zero-day detection, compliancy, SAS 70, SEC compliant, HIPAA, SOX compliant, full encryption across the wire, both in and out. The data center is fully encrypted. Matter of fact, it's redundant data centers. And we throw in 2 email boxes just so the customer can test, and if they want, then they can buy more, which we know they are, and they're buying a lot of them, and they get 7 years of archiving with an Outlook plugin for quick email retrieval. What does this mean to you? Well, now you know that your customer has their data secure, safe on their premise because it's being backed up on our appliance, but then all of their emails and all of their attachments are in a SAS 70 fully encrypted data center that is SEC compliant, which has the most rigid compliancy of any agency in the world. And it's being encrypted and redundant again into another data center in a similar location. And this you can offer to all of your customers because it's included in this bundle. We give them two free email users for them to test it out. They also have the business continuity component. So they, in essence, have a built-in webmail client. If for some reason they want to get into webmail, that's built into this as well for these 2 email users. So we're offering all of this as a total recovery bundle. And we really challenge any of our competitors to offer anything like this. There is nothing like this outside of the enterprise space. You could do it by buying from 4 or 5 different vendors, putting it together and building a product, and you'd probably be about 100% more expensive than what we're offering it today. And then you'd have to manage it from all of these different vendors, and then you have the finger pointing. You come back to HEROware for all the service and support. We manage all of this in one easy-to-support program. So I know I've said a lot there on the Total Recovery Bundle, but it's something that as a partner you really need to get your arms around and understand. And again, we really think it's a unique offering in the industry.